Okay. Replace all. Okay. So, what we're looking at right here is all the damage parameters for the weapons in MGO. Now, here's the weird thing. It looks like all of the stats that do the damage and stuff are like literally right at the very beginning of the line of code. So, what I've noticed is that it looks like these two over here, where these 240s are, they're both talking about stun. And then the first two lines of the code right here usually talk about damage. So as you see here, this is the knife combo and the knife thrust. Obviously, we know the knife actually hurts you. So this does like 2,000 damage for the thrust, and then 500 for just the slashes. It looks like the final slash does double than all the other stuff. I believe this 500 is the impact force as well. But as you can see here, for the sleep gas, the 4th and 5th sections are highlighted, because sleep gas really knocks you out. And the same exact thing happens here with just sleep gas in general. Now, it looks like whatever this Kibidango is, it was supposed to appear in MGO as well. So I guess, you know, you could have had a mode where everyone has Kibidangos and throw them at each other. I have a feeling that was probably gonna be an event. There's no way something as silly as that it was gonna be like, oh yeah, you can just do this. I have a feeling it could have been an event. But as you can see here for the decoy actually does do damage if you throw it at someone. But after that, when you deploy it, it does stun damage or non-lethal damage. Same thing with the shock. The shock will just do non-lethal damage. So we have anti-tank mine, C4. But here's the interesting thing. Here's the very interesting thing that you guys should actually know. We actually, in MGO, they actually have a damage parameter for support helicopter flare grenades. So I have a feeling that at one point, they were going to intend on you calling in the chopper in MGO, which that sounds kind of interesting. On top of that, there's also a supply flare grenade, so there was also another chance that you could have had to call in supplies to get more ammo, because as it is right now, if you run out of ammo, you just have to kill people and collect ammo. That's what you do. Let's see, we got stun grenade, Molotov cocktails. Oh, look, we got another Kibidango. Punches, kicks, CQC hits. I don't know what this CQC finish is, but whatever it is, it does 65,000 damage in non-lethal. That sounds really overpowered. Okay, so here's another one that's going to actually shock you guys. There's actually a handed Jehudi parameter in MGO's line of code, if you can believe that. So it's entirely possible that we could have had handed Jehudis in MGO. Maybe as Snake only, but seeing as Snake already has the Rocket Fist and that's already overpowered, imagine having the handed Jehudi and just grabbing people from, like, you know, over like cover and such. That'd be really fucking broken. Especially after when you get grabbed by it, it makes you stunned for a while. Yeah, that would easily break Snake. Well, break him even more.
Your means and here.
Thank you, Necroskull, for following. Greatly appreciate it. So yeah, that was really shocking when I saw this, that we could have had a handed Jehudi in MGO. That's fucking crazy. Let's see. Stab. I don't know why there's a different lines of code for the knife again. Maybe it's for a different character. Right here, here's the line of code for if you fall over the edge, like a fall death parameter, which is just 9,000. Here's another interesting thing. Here's a machete. Why would you have a code in here for a machete? The only two things that can use a machete is a D-Walker and the skulls.
Yeah.
So it could be possible that you could have had a D-Walker with a machete in the game, or in MGO. Very possible.
Oh, but you could play as a skull.
Or you can play as a skull. I wouldn't doubt that.
Or just they intended to make you able to use a machine. Don't know.
Here's another crazy fucking thing. Did you guys know that we could have had D-Horse in MGO? Yeah, D-Horse actually has attack stats. D-Horse body attack, D-Horse body attack 2, 3, and then death. I guess that's like when D-Horse dies. Yes, you could have had D-Horse in MGO. He could have been a playable character, at least. Or maybe you can ride on him, you know?
You can even crap on the ground, apparently. There's
dung. You can shit on the ground.
And it does nothing.
Yeah, it does absolutely nothing. But still, though, we could have had D-Horse. Can you guys believe that? We could have had D-Horse in MGO. His line of code is in here. If you guys think that's fucking crazy, we also have vehicles, too. To my knowledge, there is no vehicles in any MGO map. Yes, we could have actually had vehicles, too. There's light vehicles. Also, there's a cannon shell. What fires a cannon shell? A fucking tank. We could have had tanks. MGO was intended to have tanks and other vehicles. Also, the helicopter too. Look, the helicopter minigun. We were also intended to have a helicopter. MGO was destined for greatness, but it never got it. Look at this tank gun for the many different variations of tanks. This thing was supposed to be, I would say, very close to Battlefield level of multiplayer, with all the vehicles here and such. MGO would have been a much different fucking game had it continued the way it did with all these in mind. It probably would have been a much better experience, to be honest. There's also UAVs. We could have had UAVs. Fucking cool. I don't know why there's a door. Attack door. Well, whatever it is, it does stun damage, so that makes sense. We basically have, I was thinking Battlefield or some other generic FPS game. Right, but see, this is all done in Metal Gear Solid, so it may feel a lot different. But, yeah, to think that we could have had all these vehicles in MGO, and the MGO would have been a lot fucking different. Water tower splash. So, here's something interesting. Here's a nice little thought experiment. The last time I was looking at code, I did find this water tower splash parameter in the code, but it says here it does damage, but there's only one person that can take damage from the water splash, and that's the Man of Fire. Why would they have these lines of code in MGO? Well, as I mentioned earlier from the other script, I think we were supposed to have the Man of Fire as a playable character. And he would only be playable in levels that you have like water and such around, so that you have a chance to actually kill him. Because there's a lot of... Actually, there's not that much water stuff, but yeah, this water thing here is really interesting. Also, okay, here's something else that's fucking cool. We were also supposed to have animals. See, right here we have animal body attack, we have bear attack, we have a wolf bite. So, not only were we supposed to have weapons, right? I believe that while you're fighting in-game, random animals will spawn, and they can just attack you out of nowhere. So, I guess look at it as like a mesh between Battlefield 1 and Far Cry. But you're playing against other players, but you're also fighting against the AI of the animals and shit too. Like, imagine sneaking around, trying to sneak up on someone, and then you get mauled by a fucking bear.
Oh, it would be fun.
What's also really cool is that D-Dog was also supposed to be intended here. Because D-Dog has his own damage parameters in here too. Imagine playing as D-Dog in MGO. That would have been fucking sick. Also, D-Dog's knife is also, like, reduced. Because as you remember, D-Dog's knife did, like, 65,000 or 100 damage in regular Metal Gear. In the single player. Which was always just an instant kill. But now it's at 1,000. Yeah, but now it's down to 10,000. So yes, this was intended for you to play as and stab people as D-Dog. That's really fucking cool. Same thing with the stun knife too. Also, the Walker Gears were supposed to have a lot more weaponry. We have here the minigun, the missile, the Fulton bomb, a flamethrower, the stun gun, the machete, the D-Walker. We were supposed to have more variants in D-Walkers. So that is pretty fucking cool. Imagine running around with the Fulton bomb, just like hitting people with it. What else is
Ballista?
And this was gonna make everyone so fucking salty. The Battle Gear. Yes. The Battle Gear was supposed to be a part of MGO as well. Yeah. Would have loved to see how this thing does. According to this, the body attack does 4,000 stun non-lethal damage, and the railgun does 16,000 damage. Holy shit. That thing will decimate fucking people. I have a feeling that the Battle Gear and such, and maybe the Man of Fire, were supposed to be a type of boss mode. Like a everybody versus this one person kind of mode. You know what I mean? Because that's how some games do it. Well, they'll give one person a really strong character, and then everybody else in the entire match has to kill them. I've seen that in many games. And considering that this is a tank, and considering the Man of Fire on what he is, I wouldn't doubt that. Wouldn't that basically be a Sahelanthropus railgun? Yeah. Yeah, essentially. We also had bomb assist and smoke assist. So, you know the bombardment option? Yeah, we could have actually had that too. There's a sleep gas. There's also a chaff option too. A chaff grenade assist. Or not a grenade, but chaff. Just chaff.
Yeah, chaff assist. Yeah.
Also, another fucking crazy thing is we also have parasites. You could have played as some of the parasite skulls. We have Parasite Beam, Parasite Weapon Break, Parasite Jump Attack. So yes, you could have fucking played as them too. And
or maybe just as AI stuff.
Yeah, or maybe as a cooperative game where it's AI versus everyone. Either that or you and your team of 4 people total against the entire match, because all these skulls came in a pair of 4, if you remember. That would be really fucking cool, to be honest. Imagine you and 3 of your friends playing as the skulls against everyone else in the entire match. That'd be really cool. Parasite vehicle break. We also have a zombie infection. This is the puppets. So it's entirely possible that we could have. I think it's okay. I think what Tally said might be true. I think this could have been intended for a PvE component in MGO, player versus enemy. It looks like you could have used single player assets then, like if they wanted to, or had an idea to bring your single player progress over to MGO. No, you're right. That's entirely possible. Like, it wouldn't be hard. And it would make a pretty interesting section where you can play a PvE or something like that. And remember how I told you about Vulcan? Well, here's all of his damage. His bullet, his firewall, explosion, fire pillar. This is what he does. And so I assumed either he was supposed to be an AI that you and your team would fight, or one person will play as him and everyone else will fight against him or something. Either that, or it could just be, you know, just a playable character like you would have on both teams. Every team has their own playable character. Oh, but this one's also going to make you shit your pants. Sahelanthropus. All of his damage parameters are inside MGO's file. So you know what that means? We were supposed to have Sahelanthropus either as a playable character or as an enemy AI that you and your team would fight against. Holy shit. Wouldn't that be something? I personally would have loved to have the one versus everyone, because you piloting Sahelanthropus against an entire fucking team would have been sick as fuck. Holy shit. He's got everything. He's got the sword, the missiles, the air mines, grenades, the railgun. And yes, you are right. The railgun does the same damage as the battle gear railgun. So we also have Eli as well for some reason. Eli is also, all of his stats are in here for just, you know, either as an AI or as a playable character. So you could have played as him, and he does a lot of damage apparently. So that's pretty damn cool. Yeah, it is a surprising discovery. I'm surprised no one else has found this at all. So I am very shocked. And then after that, it just kind of ends. But yeah, so it looks like you could have played as everyone in the single player mode, except for Code Talker, except for Miller. But you could have easily played as everyone else, or at least something had to be involved with them. I have a feeling that they're taking most of this for Metal Gear Survive, and they're just rerouting it. I think that's what they're doing. Because as it stands, people kind of see Metal Gear Survive as an overbloated expansion pack. There's no reason to have it as a separate game. And I can kind of see that. But yeah, there goes that. Here's another different line of